Love it or hate it, but Tesla has done unthinkable. Not only it is the first car startup to penetrate the market in decades, it's certainly the first one ever to completely take it over and dominate it within just a dozen of years. But Tesla was followed by many other EV startups with their own great vision on the future of cars. Can they survive not only the huge advantage that Tesla has created before them, but all other established legacy manufacturers that have joined the EV race? Well, let's examine the most successful of them all that you have probably already seen on the road in the US. First, let's pour one out for the startups that did end up in bankruptcy, like Sona Motors, Lightyear, Lordstown, and the one that will always be in my heart, Byton. I should also mention that there are tons of Chinese EV startups that have done really well but still have not expanded into the US, with the biggest success stories in XPeng Motors and NIO, each with more EV models than Tesla already. Some startups have only now started deliveries of their very first EVs, so the jury is still out on them. I'm talking about Fisker with the Ocean EV, Nikola Motors that have been scaling up their electric semi-truck production, and the exotic brands like Pininfarina and Rimac with their hypercars Bautista and Rivera that are faster than any gas-powered hypercars from Ferrari and Lamborghini to Bugatti and McLaren. There are a few others like Canoo and Faraday Future, but we don't yet know which way they're going to go. Now, Polestar is technically a new brand that has done very well, but it's hard to consider it a startup per se, as it is backed and owned by Volvo. Which brings us to the top 3 that not only all have their cars on the US roads today, but are publicly traded companies in the US as well. Now, before we get to the more known success stories of Lucid and Rivian, let's take a look at the brand that nobody knew about only a couple of years ago. And I'm talking about Vinfast, a Vietnamese company launched just a few years ago that is a part of the Vingroup empire that started as a business selling, get this, yes, instant noodles. Vinfast has been making gas cars at their factory in Vietnam, and now they have fully switched to only making EVs. Its full lineup of electric vehicles in the Vietnamese market features the E34, VF3, VF5, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus the electric motorbikes, e-bikes, and electric buses. And faster than you can cook a cup of noodles, it has come to the US with its first EV, the VF8, and has vouched to bring 3 more to the US market within a year. But Vinfast knew that it had to put itself above others if it was to win the hearts of Americans. To give a peace of mind to their customers, Vinfast features essentially the world's best bumper-to-bumper warranty of, get this, 10 years or 125,000 miles. Every customer has a special delivery ceremony, including training and gifts. I didn't know about this one. That's nice. But there were some growing pains, which Vinfast has addressed by consistently rolling over-the-air updates with fixes, to this date addressing 90% of customer concerns. If customers have to bring their cars in for repairs, many are eligible for cash compensation, something I haven't seen much of from others. But despite their success story, you have probably seen some nasty reviews from one of the biggest publications and influencers. As someone who has been a fan of this brand, I was curious if Vinfast was really dropping the ball. So I looked into it. But of course, the mainstream automotive media, which I have criticized heavily before, has just decided to pick on this brand for things that they have given a pass to others. Let's take the road and track, for example, that called Vinfast's EPA range a problem. But when they reviewed the Honda E with half of that range, somehow said, oh well, it's not perfect, it doesn't have the longest range, but what's more important is that it's a lovable hood. Stephen Ewing of Inside EVs felt carsick during his media drive and needed to get some fresh air. Now, I don't know if Stephen did not have his lucky blankie or forgot to take his vitamins that morning, but his personal morning sickness hardly deserves a big chunk of the article's prime space. Does it? Don't listen to the mainstream automotive media. Just go and check it out for yourself. Yeah. Let's move on to another success story, which is Rivian. The company was actually founded over a decade ago and originally was working on an electric roadster, but later has decided to switch to developing a pickup truck. It now has it on the road, along with its SUV sister, and it is making delivery trucks for Amazon, one of its investors, which are on the road in many neighborhoods already. First deliveries started almost 2 years ago, and Rivian has delivered over 40,000 vehicles and counting. It's got a lot going for it, including a gear tunnel, full Alexa integration, a pretty spacious frunk, and most importantly, 4 independent motors controlling each wheel for better performance. Now, Rivian has gone through its woes as well, which I have heavily criticized, including jacking up prices on existing reservation holders, media intimidation, and the fact that it has canceled both of its most exciting features: the portable kitchen that would live inside the gear tunnel and the tank turn that was possible due to the 4 independent motors. At the end of the day, backed by Ford and Amazon, Rivian is projected to be a major US brand for years to come. And that leads us to the Lucid Motors. It too has an interesting story. It's headed by a former Tesla VP of Engineering, Peter Rawlinson, who is widely credited with saving Tesla back in 2012 by re-engineering the Model S into production. Elon Musk till this day refuses to give Rawlinson any credit, but Peter had the last laugh, as Lucid's first EV, Lucid Air, has become the only EV to beat Tesla in both most important EV categories: the range with 516 EPA-rated miles and the DC fast charging speed of filling up a battery from 10 to 80% in just 12 minutes. And if that's not enough, it even beats the Tesla Model S Plaid in 0 to 60 competition at just 1.89 seconds. Lucid Air is claiming to be the first luxury 4-door electric sedan, but it does now have a competition from the legacy brands like the Mercedes-Benz EQS and the BMW i7. Lucid has a luxury electric SUV called Gravity in works as well. So far, Lucid has delivered over 7,000 electric cars and counting. So, will these 3 survive? Well, they all have pretty decent products on the market already that are only going to improve. They all have their factories and growing number of showrooms and service centers, and all have very deep pockets backing them up financially. I personally love the fact that Tesla, followed by these young startups, are the ones setting the agenda for the future over the rest of the established legacy brands having to chase these startups. Which startup story is your favorite? Let me know in the comment section, and if you would like to know about all electric cars that are coming on the market this year, well, check out this video right here. There are over 30 of them just in the United States. All right, looking forward to all of your comments. Other than that, see you guys next time, and remember to stay charged.